Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest this evening, sponsored by Raynham Steel and Nemirov, is 4 3-minute rounds in the light middleweight division. Firstly, please welcome, weighing in 11 stone, 3 pounds 8 ounces, fighting out of the red corner, wearing these silver shorts, hailing from Lincoln. Please welcome Rick Boulter. And across the ring is a man making his professional debut tonight, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the red and white shorts, weighing in 10 stone 13 pounds. Please welcome, from the London Borough of Islington, gorgeous Georgie Kean. Your referee is Mr. Phil Edwards of Preston. He will now give his final instructions to both boxers.
George. Okay, gentlemen, you follow my instructions and I'll tell you to break clean and you take a step back. Watch your heads in close. Touch gloves, good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 3-minute rounds.
So here we go. Professional debut of Georgie Kean, and I've got a man who's been there and done that standing alongside me. Nathan Cleverly joins me tonight. Nathan, can you remember your very first professional fight?
Yes, I can, and it was an atmosphere like this, to be honest. This is something else, you know, for his debut.
Amazing, isn't it? 700 tickets he sold, and he seems to have taken all the preliminaries pretty nicely too. Nice right hand there from Kean. I guess the most important thing, Nathan, is to try and forget the fans in a way and just focus on the job in hand.
Oh, totally. You know, it's his first fight. He's going to be keen and eager to impress. And I noticed, I was reading the program, and in there he was saying that he was a massive fan of Ricky Hatton growing up, and he likes to emulate his style a little, so expect him to get in and get those body shots off.
Well, he's got a bit of the fan base already. As regards the style, we'll just watch with interest. And nice to see him throwing a few feints and trying to throw some combinations as well. He's not just relying on a single punch. Nice little move from Kean. He just ducked under that punch from Rick Boulter. This is a fight he's expected to win. It's just a question of how he goes about it first time up. He doesn't look too nervous, does he?
No, he settled in quite well first round. He's just caught him with a nice solid right hand. You know, and he'll be pleased to get his first professional round up and running, you know, as a professional fighter. And when that bell rings, you know, it'll be a great relief to him.
You could just see his eyes. Oh, he took a right hand there. You see his eyes light up when he landed that shot, and he sort of sensed it. And there's a good right hand lead as well from Kean.
Obviously, as he's trying to get in close to his opponent, he's getting tagged with a few while trying to get in. But it's, you know, he's landing 3 shots to his opponent's 1. So he's coming off best.
A couple of swinging attacks there from Kean. Listen to the shouts of Keno, Keno. They were singing half an hour ago in the build-up to some of the earlier fights, and that first professional round done, dusted, and on the scorecards.
Up and running, one round up. Professional career's off to a good start.
Well, he'll be feeling a whole lot better. Great to see you back at ringside. How are you feeling?
It's great, you know, I've had a nice break. I've been on holiday, lived a normal life for a while, and bit by bit now I'm gradually getting back, starting to focus again, and I'll soon to get back in training.
How easy was the decision? How did you reach that decision that you wanted to continue?
You know, after...
I mean, it seems an obvious one for us, but I know you'd said in the wake of the Kovalev fight that you really weren't sure. Yeah, well, after a few weeks off from boxing, you know, you live your life, and bit by bit then it starts eating at you. You know, you start to miss the game, and you want to get back in and get back to winning ways. Excellent. Well, that's great news, and I'm pretty sure every single Box Nation fan will applaud that decision and welcome your return as we head into the second round in the light middleweight division. Pro debut of Georgie Kean. He's just throwing a few feints and trying to draw the leads from Rick Boulter. It's a real eagerness about him, obviously. What are you spotting earlier on here, Nathan?
Well, I think he's obviously unloading with big shots, you know, trying to get off those big power shots. Just work your way in. Just work his way in a little bit more, and then while he's in, let those hands go.
He has to take a couple of shots as Boulter seems on unsteady legs, and he almost turns his back. Crowd sense an early finish for the youngster. I think it's more a sort of ungainliness from Boulter rather than the fact that he genuinely was hurt. It's difficult to see. Well, he wants to have a go, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's certainly let his hands go. You know, he's every shot he's putting, you know, good power in behind him. Every shot is a solid shot.
Well, I tell you what, he'll be well prepared, of course, with Jim McDonald's gym. Jimmy will have him up at all hours of the morning running.
He'll certainly be physically fit. You know, Jim is he's a fitness fanatic, so he'll be in good condition.
Well, that was better. He tried to lead with a jab and then with the right hand. That was much more controlled.
As the fight goes on, start settling down, you know, you maybe see a few more skills coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice lead right hand. Suspect you'll be watching this back on the replay, and it'll seem like the first two rounds were in fast forward. Closing seconds then of the second round. This little dart away from trouble by Boulter. Just again, he just looked a little clumsy on the retreat. And Kean just needs to be careful of those wild swings in retreat. But another round for the young man, much to the delight of the travelling army.
Listen. Smart. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep the pressure on with the feet. He's blowing heavy. Blowing heavy. His straight right hand can't miss
there's
him.
the advice from Jimmy McDonald. Nathan, how does it feel actually being back at a big event? You've seen Chisora there involved in a big fight. How did that sort of feel as a fighter?
It's great, and as a fighter, I think being at these events is good as well, because it gets you used to the atmosphere, soak it up, you know, and that can, even though you're not fighting, it can still prove good experience, because while you're in that ring, it can be a daunting place, and you know the last thing you want is for the crowd to get on top and make it, you know, difficult for you. So to experience it is a great thing.
Have you watched that Kovalev fight back?
Yeah, I've watched it back a few times.
Here we go then into the third. Georgie Kean in the red and white. Youngster making his professional debut. I think he's taken the first couple of rounds. It's been quite frenetic stuff so far from the young man. He definitely wants to please.
and maybe he can relax a bit now because he's 2 rounds up. So he knows that in his mind. Mentally, that's a positive for him.
Just wobbled Boulter, that right hand. Good jab again. He's much more controlled now. He obviously wants to fight at a tempo. He wants to be a pressure fighter. I tell you what, you don't see those short shorts very often these days, do you?
Bringing them back into fashion.
That's like a bit back in the 70s. Nice right hand.
It's all George Kean now, you know. He's softened up his opponent in the first 2 rounds, and he's gradually slowing now. You know, he's on the back foot, and George is just applying the pressure, constant pressure. Just be careful not to walk onto a counter shot.
Yeah, he's certainly been right hand happy, isn't he? He's thrown quite a few of those right hands. Plenty have landed. Punch up output is high. Inside the final minute then of the third. Interesting to see what he's got and what he can do as the fight slows down through the final sort of 3 or so minutes. Phil Edwards with a gentle admonishment. I don't think he put enough gel in that hair on the way in. By the way, we're talking about Georgie Kean, not Rick Boulter. Just getting a little bit scrappy. Lovely left hand there. He won 50 of his 60 amateur fights. He does have that pedigree, even although he took the sport up relatively late as a 15-year-old, almost by chance, really. And another round to the energetic Georgie Kean. What do you make of it so far?
Yeah, it's a good start for him. It's a very solid start. You know, he's 3 rounds up, and I believe that, you know, coming into a fight as a young fighter and blasting everyone out in the first round, second round is not always a positive. You know, I think tonight he'll get a great 4 rounds under his belt, and that's invaluable experience, you know, under the spotlight in front of this large crowd. That will do him wonders for the future going forward.
That's a good point. That is, it's quite unusual for a young fighter like this to be so far up the bill in a way. Normally he'd be, you know, playing out to relatively empty seats at the start of the evening.
That's it. You know, he's thrown out into the Lions' Den as such. It's a crowded arena, and his debut is taking place. So great experience for him.
And what about you? When are you back in the gym? When you start sort of proper training again?
Well, I'm having another couple of weeks relaxing, and then bit by bit I'm going to get back and get back to business. You know. Is there one sort of meal out, or one sort of piece of food that you've been allowed to have that maybe you haven't had before? Oh, so much.
Here we go then, final rounds of the pro debut of Georgie Kean. He's buzzed his way through the first 9 minutes.
What he may be noticed now, his first professional fight, is the physical strength of his opposition. You know, he's coming in against, you know, older guys now who've got their man strength, and you'll notice that.
I think it's one. It'll be a night that he just wants to get over with in a way. It's probably quite difficult to enjoy.
Yeah, it'll be a special night for him. You know, he'll always remember this night. You know, I remember my professional debut, and he'll be glad to get off to a winning start, up and running in the professional ranks.
Oh, big right hand! Massive right hand from Georgie Kean, and Rick Boulter on the seat of his pants was saying he tripped. Well, that looked a legitimate shot, and there's a minute and a half to go. Boulter shakes his head. And Kean is on the case. More right hands. Boulter scrambling across the ring. And he just needs to find the measure and control and punch. Oh, you can forgive him. There's more and more success with that right hand.
That's it, he's picking that straight right hand, lovely.
Oh, they trade blows. I think the gum shield's out. Another big right hand. And Boulter's in all sorts of trouble. Inside the final minute. Is there to be a thrilling finale to the debut? Boulter's on unsteady legs. And the gum shield coming out has just bought him some precious seconds.
I think George is just going to pile on the pressure now and he's going to try and get him out of there.
Carl Greaves puts the gum shield back in, and Boulter with a stuttering step across to the neutral corner. Another couple of right hands again. Phil Edwards might step in. 30 seconds to go. Inside the final half minute. Well, credit to Boulter. He's managing to wind down the clock. And hopefully for another payday, he'll see it through now.
He's just using his experience now, you know, holding on when he can. Grabbing vital seconds.
There's another right hand again. And there goes the final bell. He had just about everything as pro debuts go. That'll be a young man who's absolutely chuffed to bits. He'll have a photo that'll end up in boxing news, the papers, and on his mantelpiece. And Nathan, he's got a massive crowd who are absolutely delighted as well.
Yeah, but, you know, and a good performance as well, a great start, and 4 rounds, you know, a great 4 rounds under his belt. That will do him a world of good.
I'll tell you what, he's a young lad who's made a very, very bright start. He was reckless at times, but he was entertaining, wasn't he?
A nice 10-8 round to finish off.
So wide on the scorecards, he's happy, the crowd are happy, and we'll get confirmation.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Phil Edwards scores the contest 40 points to 35. The winner on his debut in the blue corner, from the borough of Islington, gorgeous Georgie Kean.